Welcome to Chew the Fat with Sue and Sarah, the weekly podcast where we talk health, wellness and weight loss, specifically the Putting Health at the Top weight loss program. Hi and welcome to Chew the Fat with Sue and Sarah.
Hi, here we are again.
Hey Sue, how are you today?
Good.
Excellent. So today we're going to be talking about a project that's actually one of our babies, the Phatt Journal.
Yes, a beautiful baby.
Oh, excellent. So should we just do a little quick thank you? So before we get started and talking about our Phatt Journal, I wanted just to say a special thank you to everyone who has subscribed to our podcast and who has left us reviews, and also a bit of a thank you to everyone who has jumped onto our website, chewthefat.com, and asked for information. We've got a few people on the program, which is exciting.
It's exciting. And thank you to those of you who've already purchased a journal.
Yeah.
Because they already know all about what we're just about to talk about.
Yeah. So I actually run an online marketing business, so I'm very techie. And
I'm not.
But I do love, and this surprises people, I own a Kindle, but I still love a book.
Yes.
And I've been in business for 8 years, and every year in my business I buy a planning journal.
Yeah.
Sometimes like a type of diary, even though I run a digital diary. And I was saying to Sue in sort of mid-2018 we were talking, and I said to her, because she was asking me because I'd been a bit naughty on the program, can you tell me what you've been eating through the day?
She couldn't tell me.
I can't even remember what I've had for breakfast, let alone what I ate the entire day. So I'm a bit rubbish like that. So we kind of talked. I said to her, how fun would it be to have a journal that was designed for the Phatt program?
Absolutely. And it really was an idea that sort of came to us like all of a sudden, wasn't it? It was sort of something that, because I've always written lists and like check things off, and I am definitely not techie at all. Look, I've got every single thing that opens and shut for technology, but I don't know how to use it. My kids just gave me an Apple Watch, and I'm like, I don't know how to use this thing. I've got a written diary that I write in. I've got a wall planner that I write on. I'm not an app girl. I just don't like them. I'm old school. And when Sarah came up with this idea for the journal, I go, oh, that's amazing. It is going to be life-changing for me as a mentor with people, because I always ask people if there's something going on and they're not losing what they should be losing. I always say, I need to see what you've been eating.
Yeah.
So the journal does that. Yeah.
So if we're really honest, we actually started the journal and made it something that we would love, didn't we?
Yeah.
So
we made it our own. Really.
Yeah, it's our baby. So with the journal, we started out with this kind of an idea, and we thought, what would we love to have in a journal ourselves? So the journal has 60 days of tracking.
Yep.
And on every day, you've actually got 2 pages to a day. So it's none of this tiny little, I'm quite messy writer, none of this tiny little bit. So on the day, you can put in everything that you've eaten. You can put in what your snacks are. You can put in the calories if you want to do that too. And there's reminders to take your supplements, which I'm super good at taking my goop in the morning. I'm really bad at taking my supplements at night.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I am too.
Yeah. And we also have like a little tick boxes to help you track your water, because water is so important.
Absolutely.
We kind of think we might do a whole podcast on water, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, definitely on water, because there's so many people struggle to drink 3 litres of water a day.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
The journal has been life-changing for some people.
Absolutely.
It really has been the changer for people to stay on track.
Definitely. So as well as having all your kind of, let's call it the nuts and bolts of the program, so writing down all those things, on the other page we've actually put where you can reflect on your day, because we've talked, and now hopefully you can catch our episode where we talked about mindset, but we want you to be able to reflect on each day and say to yourself, what did I do well today? Like, what am I proud of? Because we all know we don't give ourselves much kudos for doing things well, do we?
Definitely not.
And we also put in there, what can I do better tomorrow? And we did put a little spot in, so if you do some exercise, and we should just say you don't need to exercise on the Phatt program, but Sue, being a personal trainer, is quite a fan. I love walking every day. I enjoy that as something I do with my husband and children. So you can put in if you do exercise. And what is great about that is it becomes this record of your fat journey.
That's it. And you can always refer back. Like I love to go back through things that I've written down, and, you know, I'll find snippets of paper that I've written down a thought or whatever, whereas this is all in one spot. So it's just a matter of flicking back. And what I get my mentees to do is actually send me a photo of that particular page or those few days that I'm asking for. And it's so quick and easy because, you know, let's face it, if they've not written it down, they've probably forgotten it. So they're probably, what they're writing to me on a snippet of paper is probably not necessarily what they did right. But if you're right, it's not 100% correct. So with journaling, you can actually just write it down after each meal, and it is so much easier than, you know, trying to think back. I've got a terrible memory, so I don't remember things.
And one of the things that we know about writing something down, we know for a fact, if you write down everything you eat, you are less likely to eat bad things, which is great. Yeah. So you're kind of helping your success.
Absolutely. And the journal too, Sarah and I went to the Phatt Ball, which we have every year, which is a massive event, and, you know, hundreds of people go. And our leaders had been over to Africa, and they'd come across this lady who was looking after children, or young girls, you know, moving forward into adulthood from young little girls. And, you know, she needed some money. So she needed money to be able to school these girls. So what Sarah and I came up with was, with every purchase of the journal, $1 goes to that charity.
Yeah.
And, you know, already we've raised a significant amount of money with the sales of the journals. Yeah. But just think of...
We've sold a couple of thousands. Yeah. That means we're at about 2,000 now. Yeah. That doesn't sound like a lot of money, but can we just say... So this beautiful lady and her husband who run this organisation in Zimbabwe, what they need to run, it's not a school per se, it's actually a place where girls can go and they can be the best version of themselves, so they can access education. They can also access how to learn basic skills in life. They actually get given things, some basics in life, and it makes me heartbroken to say this, but things like sanitary pads.
Yeah.
Some real fundamentals that women don't often get. And so to run that for a year takes $8,000.
Which is nothing. Like, you think of the amount of girls that go through that place, and for $8,000. And, you know, that was a real kind of like a kicker for me. I thought, when they came back from over there and they were telling this story, I thought, how can I help? You know, what can I do? You know, they're back. They're in Zimbabwe. We're here. How can we give back to these people? And, you know, we had an auction on the night and we raised a few $1,000s, but we were still, you know, and we want this as an ongoing thing. Like, it's not just for 1 year. So that's why Sarah and I thought, right, with our journal, how can we give back to these girls? So that's what we did, and it's been successful, hasn't it?
It has. And it's interesting because both Sue and I have had financial success being Phatt mentors. Like, we're not going to beat around the bush on that. And, you know, it's nice to, if you're in a position to give something back, and you can, it's really wonderful to do that. But let's be honest, we all have so much pressure on our money. So for us to set up Phatt Journal from the outset that it was always going to give back, we've never had that money. We've never missed it. It goes straight into that charity. It has its own bank account here in Australia. And so that goes straight there. We don't even see it. So we never miss it, which is kind of nice that we've set that up from the outset. And as long as the Phatt Journal is for sale, I can't see us changing the $1 from every sale going to that special charity. I can't imagine why we would change that.
No. If anything, we'll probably give them more. As you know, just with the Phatt Journal, we've actually been pretty sneaky with it all. Not sneaky, but, you know, who wants to know that you're on the Phatt journey? Like, nobody. You don't want to be walking around with Phatt written on the front of your journal. So what we did was the outside cover, it just looks like any journal. It's just got some beautiful little illustrations and stuff on it. But when you open it up, it actually says, you know, Phatt Journal, who's your mentor, the phone number, all the details that you need. So that's
we did put a lot of thought into that. So it's actually not a humongous A4 thing. It's A5 and it's got a soft cover, so it will slip into your bag or however you need to carry it around with you. Because if you can carry it around with you and write in it as you're eating, and use it constantly, it will definitely be a much more accurate reflection of what your journey is about.
Absolutely. And I think the best part for me for the whole journal is the before and after picture
Page?
section.
Yes.
I've had a few people send them to me, and they've actually had their photos printed out and they've stuck them in there.
Yeah.
So, and that is amazing to be able for them and for me to see that as well, their before and after pictures in one spot.
So we should talk about the first few pages, because we've talked a little bit about the 60 days and things like that. But in the first few pages, we've obviously got the front page where you put in all your details and your mentor, so you can remember who you're going to be checking in with. But we've also got your before and afters, but then we've got a section on all, again, more nuts and bolts, all your measurements and your starting weight, so you can track those regularly.
Yeah, this is it's actually really, really beneficial to take your measurements. Because we work on the adipose fat, the inside around the vital organs, the bad fat, if you want to call it that, that is where your shape is coming in. So sometimes people don't lose weight in a day, and they'll say to me, oh, but I didn't lose any weight. And I'll go, well, go and pop out and do your measurements. And they're astounded by the amount of centimetres, that they've lost.
Yeah.
So it's really, really important. And we have those in there weekly. Yeah. So the 3 measurements is the bust, the waist and the hips. You can do your legs and your arms if you want as well. But I sort of focus on those. The guys like the arms ones though.
Oh really?
Yeah. They love the arms because they like to be buff and all that stuff.
For me, my arms are all about my kind of excess fat that hangs off them as I get older.
Oh dear. But that's really, really, so we've got that kind of in the front. So I think we've basically covered the feedback we've got. We've had great feedback.
There's a little bit more in, so after you put in your before and afters, we've actually got a whole section, and we did talk about this in our mindset episode, where we talk about your why. So why do you want to lose weight? You can put in there if you're working towards a specific goal, because people often have something that they're working towards. So, hey, this might be a great opportunity, Sue, because 2019, Sue and I both have some personal things that we want to achieve. So do you want to share with everyone what you've got coming up in your planner?
Oh, I've got lots of things coming up for my big trip. So my uncle was on the Kokoda Trail. So lovely Uncle Noel, who has now passed on. And to sort of remember him and to remember what he kind of went through being on the Kokoda Trail, is my husband and I are going to be going and doing the Kokoda Trail. Now, this is massive for me.
So how long is that?
It's 10 days.
And how many Ks do you walk? And
it's about 90 Ks through the jungle.
Right.
So I have to be fit and healthy and on point, because I don't want to die out there in that jungle. I really don't. So
and it's not just 90 Ks, it's
up and down.
Hot jungle.
So it's up, down, it's around about through the water, and admittedly we have our porters that will help us.
Yeah. You've still got to move your butt though.
We still have to do it. So my husband and I have gone and bought our boots, and the next thing is our clothes. But, for me, it's to be in 100% tip-top, condition, so I can face it straight on. So, we talked about our whys in the past, and my why has changed in the last, few months, because I really, really want to do this, and I really want to be successful in it. So, I've got some weight that I want to get off, and I really want to get going with this and get down in the weight. I have a little bit of trouble sometimes with fluid retention. So, I've been to Bali and had terrible fluid retention, and I don't want to be out in that jungle having to worry about that.
Yeah.
So that was my why to get that done. But my husband is a chronic smoker, has been a chronic smoker for all of his life, basically from the age of 12, which is a bit scary because my dad and his dad both passed away from emphysema. So, for me, smoking is a real, it's not great. Anyway, so I said to him, I want to do the Kokoda Trail, and he goes, oh, well, am I coming? And I go, well, yeah, if you want to come. I said, but don't you think you'd be able to have those cigarettes out in the jungle? Anyways, the next day, bless him, he's been hypnotised a couple of times for smoking. He went and got hypnotised, and he is now a non-smoker. And, that's amazing for him to do that, because he really wants to do it as well, and being fit and healthy and ready, to do that. So, yeah,
brilliant.
hats off to him.
That's your big why.
That's
very
why.
Exciting.
So, yeah.
So my why is not, it actually doesn't sound quite as challenging as yours. I'm a little bit embarrassed now. But for Christmas this year, my husband, who's from New Zealand, and I are planning to go back with our boys who are 10 and 13. Now, we went last year, so yes, we are very blessed. We get to go there quite often. But when we went last year, I actually bought a Lonely Planet on hiking around New Zealand, and because my husband and I walk quite a lot, and before we went last year, he and I were walking like 1 to 2 hours a day to get our fitness up. And I got it in my heart that I really wanted to go on this walk in the South Island, which is only 18 k's, okay? And you can do it, but when you get to the end of it, they've got these natural hot springs and mud pools. And if you've ever watched Hunt for the Wilder People, they've got those little huts that you can stay in. And both my boys and my husband are absolutely fit enough to do that. So it was me, and it was the first time that I felt like me being unfit and overweight held us back from something. And if I'm honest, I was really heartbroken. So my goal for this year is to get to my goal weight. So I'm going to be doing 2 more rounds of the program. And my husband and I are actually going to be working on increasing our walking and our fitness, because to walk for 8 hours with a pack on your back is no easy task. And now that I've kind of got it in my mind, because we're going to be going for the summer to New Zealand, I've kind of been looking at sort of like the Milford Track and a few other walks that maybe we might be able to do, because my kids are super fit, and like in New Zealand they call it tramping. They love tramping, and when we go to New Zealand it's really safe tramping. There's no snakes, there's no Kokoda scaries like you're going to be facing. So we've got, like, both Sue and I have got our why, and we've written that in our journals.
We certainly have, and mine is, I have to do it. Like I have no choice. And for me it was like, oh yeah, I'll do the Kokoda Trail one day. Oh yeah, I'll do that one day. And then I thought, if I don't put this in my planner, and if I don't write it down, I won't do it. I need a goal. I need to be, I have to do this. So so it's going to be exciting.
So we've, in terms of listening to our podcast, we will keep you updated on how Sue and I are progressing, because the year will go, time just passes. So, whether you do something or don't do something, time passes anyway. So definitely take action. But coming back to our journal, I think we've talked a little bit about our whys, and it's really, really, if you want to be successful on your weight loss, you have to do that work to think about, why do you want to do this? And it's not just because you don't want to be fat anymore. Like there are things that happen, and look, I'll be really honest, like when we were in New Zealand last year and I couldn't do that walk, that was a real moment for me. I felt inside I was dying. I was so, like, I thought, this is what you've done to yourself, Sarah. It was really hard to face. And so you will have to touch those really raw emotions to find your why. It's not just because I want to lose weight and fit into a dress. Like, honestly, that is a superficial answer. You need to dig in and find this, because when you uncover that, when you're having those average days and you're like, oh, I haven't lost weight for 2 days, I'm just going to eat this. You need to open that journal and look at that why and really touch that emotion to connect with it.
Absolutely. And go, flick back through and read what you've written, because that resonates with you then again, and then that will keep you going. And that's the importance of your journal too, is that you've always got it, and once you've written it down, it's there. You can't go back and rub it out. Like, it's there. And write down how you're feeling. If you are having a crappy day, write it down, and then you can look back and say, oh, I had that crappy day because this and this. I can change this to go forward.
It's about really owning not just your food and those practical things. It's about owning your emotions, because the sooner we can do that, the more successful we're going to be. So we do look at the journal is absolutely our baby, but we know that it is an amazing tool to help you find success on the Phatt program. I think, is there anything, I suppose in terms of the days, the other thing we haven't mentioned is we've put some little tips and motivational quotes in there, haven't we?
Oh, yes, we have. Some of them are really quite funny. And so they are really beautiful, though, quotes. They're lovely. What's one?
Oh, I can't believe we don't have it.
Where's our journal?
I don't know, we haven't got one on our desk.
We've only got 4,000.
So we put those in there because when you're reading it every day, I want you to really look at those little quotes and look at those little tips and really take them on board and go, yes, I can do this, because I think on day one it says
today's the start of your new you or something.
Today's
like
the first day of a new you.
Yeah,
It's a new beginning. So we've put them in there to really help and support you. One of the things I would definitely say is, remember, this is your journey and your journal. And I think Sue has made comments about this. Like, as your mentors, we can help and support you, but you must be honest with yourself. So it's really important that you write down everything that you eat.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I just remembered one of those little daily things.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all fun and games until your jeans don't fit.
I do love that one.
I love that one. It's my fave.
So
I've actually got that in the gym. So true, though.
Oh, especially in the summer, because here in Australia we don't have to wear jeans, and then you get to that winter and the first time you put them on, you're like, oh, they've just shrunk, they've been washed. And you're like, you walk around, you can't breathe in them all day. That's a horrible feeling.
And we are in Australia, obviously. You can tell we're Australian in our accents. But the good news for you guys is that the journal is available worldwide.
Yes.
So we will send wherever you are. There's not a worry. We'll get it through to you. So
we've shipped obviously all around Australia and New Zealand, because that's where the Phatt program has its heartland. But we have shipped to the USA, Canada, England, Germany, and Spain.
Yeah.
So if you're in Europe, let us know. We'll send you one.
Yeah, absolutely.
But one little thing I wanted to say, and I love this little expression, and a friend used to say to me, your food goes off track with your BLTs. Have you heard this?
No, I haven't.
So it's bites, licks, and tastes.
Oh, I like that.
And we often don't put those down, because like, I'm just having, because my children say to me, just have a little bite, Mum, because they're all skinny, so I don't know what it means. So your BLTs, you must write them down too, your little bites, licks, and tastes.
Ah, that's interesting, because I think I was talking about it once before, as soon as I get the taste of a sugar, something sugary, I have to have it again, you know, so I don't have it at all. I'm better off, like, you know, cold turkey for me.
So BLTs, watch out for them.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for listening to us. If you would like to get your own copy of the Phatt Journal, you simply go to phatjournal.com. We will put the links in our show notes. We would love to see you. Join us on our Facebook page. Share some pictures of you with the journal. We are very proud of this. It is mine and Sue's baby, the journal, and we have put our heart and soul into it.
And I just want to say they're all in my office and they're all stacked up. So please buy them so I can get my office space back.
On that note, we'll say thank you for joining us for Chew the Phatt.
Oh, did we tell them how much they were?
No. Oh my goodness. So they're,
Sarah,
sorry. So they're 22 Australian dollars plus postage. So postage in Australia is $5. As we said, we ship internationally. Once you type in your country, it'll tell you how much postage is. You can buy in bulk and get a discount. If you buy overseas, you don't pay GST, so they're only $20. Is that enough information?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Awesome. Excellent. Great. Thank you for joining us for Chew the Phatt. We can't wait to be in your ears next week. Have a great day, guys.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in to Chew the Phatt with Sue and Sarah. Remember to head on over to our website, chewthephatt.com, for all our show notes, links, and much, much more.